Hello everyone, this is Urja Pawar. I am from Munster Technological University, Ireland, and I am here to present our paper on evaluating hierarchical medical workflows using feature importance. Let me begin with what I mean by hierarchical medical workflows. So whenever it comes to diagnose a disease, we first start with self-analysis or self-report where we observe our symptoms and relate it to our medical history. And after that, we go to our general practitioner or physicians and they screen our health conditions based on some standard diagnostic tests. If the GP suspects something, they order some blood test or recommend visiting hospitals for advanced examinations. Now, in hospitals, we can have different types of tests. Some of them can be visual examinations, some can be related to MRI or X-ray scans, and of course, the cellular analysis or blood tests. The pragmatic approach in diagnosing the disease can differ based on capacity of diagnosis, health condition of the patient, expertise available, infrastructure available, and so on. Well, sometimes it can be only a subset of tests, other time it can include more, and in different orders. ML models lack in capturing these aspects and train on the medical data set available as a whole. It is very important to consider this hierarchical structure based on self-report, standard diagnostics, and advanced diagnosis, and the multiplicity of the medical workflows within a given hierarchy while building ML-based systems to enable increased adoption. Building such ML-based systems faces several challenges. So the first one is to understand the hierarchical structure based on demographics, which test is conducted where and at what stage, and then train an ML model accommodating that structure as well. There is currently a lack of consideration of the hierarchical structure when we talk about ML-based systems in the medical domain. The second challenge is the construction of explainable representation that tells us performance and operation of ML models across medical workflows so that medical practitioners are better able to comprehend. The third one is the inclusion of domain-specific knowledge related to a disease. That can include information such as what is the sequence or order of tests to be done and why a certain diagnostic workflow was adopted. We address these issues by adopting an approach where we first construct a hierarchical structure related to the disease for which the training data is available, and then we associate the features in the data with the medical literature for performing a diagnosis. At this point, we train our model on different feature sets based on hierarchy and medical workflows, and after that, we collate its performance metrics and the feature importance scores assigned to each feature and represent this information in the form of directed acyclic graph that enables a clear visualization of how the model is performing at different hierarchical levels and across different possible workflows within a level. This provides explainability of how a given model trained on an available data set can perform in real-world medical workflows. Now, for the feature importance, we used a random forest classifier. The mean decrease in impurity was used to estimate the importance scores. Consider this decision tree with nodes A, B, and C for classifying data records as X or Y. In here, node B splits using values of feature M and node C splits on feature N. For estimating the feature importance, we first calculate node importance, which is given by this formula. We see the product of weighted number of samples reaching that node and impurity of that node. Now, impurity here indicates how much non-homogeneous records are on reaching that node. According to this formula, NB will be WBCB, as C left and C right are 0 because they are leaf nodes and have 0 impurity as all the samples reaching here have same labels. After that, we want to estimate feature importance of feature M. We take all the nodes that splits on M and sum of their importances and then weight it. Here it will be NB divided by NA plus NB plus NC. Now, if we are using a random forest classifier, which is an ensemble of decision trees, we will take average of all the feature importances of feature M. So if there are 4 decision trees, it will look something like this. The methodology adopted for this project was based on heart disease dataset from UCI repository, where we first derived some feature out of the categorical features present in the dataset to better align it with the medical workflows. And then we segregated all the features into 3 distinct hierarchical levels, which are self-report, standard diagnostics, and advanced diagnosis. Based on the medical literature, we constructed some feature sets and trained our model on those sets to observe different accuracy scores. We also noted the feature importance scores and tried to combine these 2 metrics in the form of directed acyclic graph. So the generated graph based on heart disease data looked like this. We have three distinct hierarchical levels here. The nodes are the features and the edges denote updated accuracy scores on including the destination node. The dotted edge represents that the feature can be or cannot be identified at that stage, whereas solid edge represents that features needs to have all the parent nodes completed before moving ahead. Just a quick walkthrough of features. TA and ATA are symptom-based features. TA, typical angina, a Boolean feature which is based on whether there are typical symptoms of heaviness in chest. ATA, atypical angina, which is based on whether there are subtle symptoms of sleep disturbances or fatigue. NAP, non-anginal pain, informs whether the angina is caused by non-cardiac issues. It can be identified early on based on different rules, such as if angina usually lasts less than 5 seconds or over 30 minutes, it most probably is a non-anginal pain. C is the serum cholesterol levels. The advanced diagnosis begin with stress testing in the presence of cardiologist, where ECG measurements are taken after exercising. And so feature slope is the slope of ST wave in the ECG, and feature ST is the ST depression. EIA, which is exercise-induced angina, can be identified at any time in stress testing. Similarly, non-anginal pain could also be identified here. If the stress testing suggests a possibility of a heart disease when there are no associated symptoms, asymptomatic angina, AA, could be diagnosed. MHR is a Boolean feature that tells us whether the maximum heart rate of the person has exceeded the ideal MHR, which is 220 minus age of that person. After stress testing, fluoroscopy or thallium stress tests, or both, could be conducted. These are medical imaging related procedures. As we can see, the majority of medical workflows demonstrated gains in accuracy as they progress through the available diagnosis. The accuracy at the root node, which is self-report level, was 68.8%. Although the accuracy did not improve when the features at the standard diagnostics level were added, the features at this level are required to be present before proceeding to advanced diagnosis, as this graph is constructed to represent real medical workflows. With the addition of features of stress testing and further advanced diagnosis, clear accuracy gain are observed that align with the increase in clinical confidence for diagnosing heart disease. Modeling the performance of an ML model across multiple medical workflows this way is beneficial to clinicians, as they are better able to relate it with their own workflows and can clearly assess which workflows to select to get an expected performance from ML models based on their infrastructure and processes. Looking at the feature importance score at the self-report level, age is identified as the most important feature that is in line with the fact that with increasing age, the chances of heart disease increases. Similarly, in the standard diagnostics, we have cholesterol test given high score among other standard diagnostics as it is actually one of the most important initial tests done while diagnosing heart disease. In advanced diagnosis, slope and ST depression are assigned high FI scores because they are indeed crucial in the specific diagnosis of heart disease. Now, MHR has been assigned a low score, and literature-wise, this feature does not rely on solid theory, as the ideal MHR need not be always 220 minus 8. It could be more or less. With this, clinician can get a better insight of how features are being treated by the model, and they can validate its appropriateness. Distribution of importance score of a single feature participating in multiple workflows also provide an insight to clinicians as to how the model functions in presence of different set of features. Exercise-induced angina not always indicate a heart disease, and we do observe the change in its importance scores as there are more participating features in the workflow, from 30.3% to 21.9% to 16.9%. And so in conclusion, in this paper, we present a methodology for constructing and evaluating hierarchical medical workflows using importance scores. This could enable data scientists to better relate medical data sets and their modeling with real-world medical workflows. It also enables a better comprehension of how the model is performing across hierarchical levels. Clinical experts could use the graph-based representation for visualizing the feature importance and accuracy across multiple medical workflows. In the future, this work can be extended to incorporate knowledge engineering, where the model's operation across hierarchical levels can be inferred in the form of rule sets or first-order logic statements. Interactive visualization could also be generated that can include automated construction of hierarchies via tagging and ordering of features at different levels, and the dynamic reordering of nodes based on the workflow followed by a clinician to enable a more intuitive understanding. Thank you, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.